Hey, I'm koreandr.jay. I'm your weight loss doctor. So we're going to talk about how to lose weight. And the first thing I want to talk about is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is one of the most sustainable and healthiest way to lose weight. So we're going to get into that. And the most common pattern is 16 hours and 8 hours pattern. And for the first 16 hours, you don't eat anything and you have just 8 hours eating window. And for the fasting time, you literally don't eat anything. So you just drink some water, you just drink some black coffee, but other than that, you don't eat anything. So you might be like, oh, it's crazy. For 16 hours, I don't eat anything. I'm not allowed to eat anything for 16 hours. It's crazy, but it's not that crazy actually. So let's say you have your last meal around 7 p.m. So you had your dinner, so you wouldn't be hungry for like 4 hours, 5 hours. So until you go to bed, you wouldn't be hungry. And how many hours do you sleep at night? 7 hours? 8 hours? You would wake up around 7 in the morning. And do you get hungry in the morning? I don't think so. You don't get hungry in the morning very much. And you're kind of busy in the morning, right? To get ready to go to work, to get ready to go to school if you're a student. So it's easy to restrict yourself. So you wouldn't be hungry in the morning very much. And around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., you would start getting hungry. Then you have your first meal. This is 16 hours fasting. So it's not that crazy. You wouldn't be hungry very much. So you should try this right now, okay? And you only eat during the 8 hours. So usually it's just 2 meals without any snacks. And so if you don't get hungry, you don't snack anything. But if you really get hungry between those 2 meals, you can have some small snacks. This is the intermittent fasting. When you first start intermittent fasting, you might get hungry in the mornings because you've been having your breakfast for many years. So if you get hungry in the morning, my recommendation is coffee. Coffee has appetite suppressing effect. So if you drink some coffee, it will suppress your appetite. So it's gonna get easier to wait until your eating window. And your coffee should be black coffee. No sugar, no milk, just straight black coffee. But if you don't like black coffee, you can use some butter. Yeah, butter. You heard it right, butter. Butter is no sugar, no carbs, it's fat. So fat doesn't have any impact on your insulin level. So even if you put some butter in your coffee, it doesn't raise your insulin level. It doesn't break your fasting, so you can drink some butter coffee. It's actually really good. So you should try the butter coffee tomorrow morning and you will like it, okay? Yeah, the most common intermittent fasting is from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. This is the most common pattern, but it doesn't have to be 11 to 7. You can change your eating window based on your work schedule, based on your lifestyle. So if you get hungry earlier than 11 a.m., you can start your eating window from 10 a.m. But if you're gonna have your first meal earlier than 11 a.m., you have to finish your last meal earlier than 7 p.m. So you can try 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. And if you don't get hungry until noon, you can try noon to 8. So as long as you have 8 hours eating window, it's the same intermittent fasting. So you can adjust your eating window depending on your work schedule, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your hunger schedule. The best intermittent fast is just eating 2 meals a day, but sometimes you might get hungry between those 2 meals. So if you really get hungry between those 2 meals, you can have some low-carb food like nuts, tomatoes, avocados, eggs, and tofu, and things like that. So yeah, you can have those kind of snacks if you get really hungry. But the best intermittent fasting is just 2 meals without any snacks, okay? That's the most common mistake people make when they're on intermittent fasting. It's not intermittent binge eating, it's intermittent fasting. Though you don't have to count the calories, but you shouldn't overeat. So the right amount of food is to the point where you get comfortably full. So if you feel like, I'm okay, and just stop there, that's the right amount of food. So if you drink some juice in the morning, it will increase your blood sugar level and your insulin level will go up along with the blood sugar level. And your blood sugar will go down rapidly and then you're gonna get cranky, you're gonna get hungry, you're gonna have some sugar cravings. So it's not a good idea. And because it increases your insulin, it's breaking your fasting. So your fasting time gets shorter. So in the morning, you don't eat anything that could increase your insulin. So no juice. And juice is almost like soda, so no juice is really bad idea. Today we talked about intermittent fasting, and if you have any question, leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button down below. Thank you for watching. I'm Korean Dr. J.